Welcome back to this Live Sunday Talk Show here on the Arise News channel. On Tuesday, the Abuja residents of both the President of the Nigerian Senate, Bukola Saraki, and his deputy, Ikwe Remado, were under siege by security operatives of the Department of State Security and the EFCC, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. This happened barely 24 hours after Bukola Saraki was invited by the police for further questioning of her robbery. The police have insisted that Saraki is needed to make certain clarifications on the statement of the suspects arrested in connection with the robbery, despite the legal advice from the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, which absolved the Senate President of any complicity in the acts. Gentlemen, it gets curiouser and curiouser. And this flows just naturally, logically, into what we were discussing before. It does look to many Nigerians that the Senate President and his deputy and other members of the National Assembly have been victimized just because they've chosen to be different from other members of the APC, particularly the people in the presidency. Prof.
Let's take the submission as you have given us as an hypothesis for further analysis.
Prof.
Now, I think the first issue to deal with is the conflict between the immunity clause as provided for in Nigeria's
Section 318 of the 1999 Constitution.
Precisely.
But it doesn't cover members of the National Assembly.
No, that's not the issue.
Okay.
The immunity clause, all right, is for, or it covers activities engaged in official capacity.
That's right.
So when you are still on duty, you cannot be violated. Your integrity, your person is protected.
That's privilege. Privilege under the rules of the National Assembly.
I'm coming to that one.
Yeah.
Those are the subclauses there. The point I'm driving at is that if you look at the allegations, the rationales for laying siege at the level of the Deputy Senate President, for instance, it is said that he had been engaged in money laundering. They accuse him of abuse of office. Abuse of office. When you talk about immunity, whether it is abuse or not, whatever you do, all right, in the name of government, in your official capacity, you are protected.
No. In the case of the members of the National Assembly, it does not apply to members of the National Assembly. What members of the National Assembly have is qualified privilege. And that relates to proceedings within the chamber. Assembly.
If it does not apply to them as assemblymen, why is there any provision for them?
No, there's no, that's in terms of proceedings inside the Senate. And that's not superior to what is provided for in the Constitution. The people who are entitled to immunity, they are properly defined under the Constitution.
That's right. Yeah.
Members of the National Assembly...
Whatever they engage in their private capacity, they are not covered. But if they for whatever reason, engage in what you describe as a criminal activity, there's nothing you can do about that. That's why when they are in the assembly there, what they do, please, police cannot just come in there. And the other side of...
No, with due respect, you are mixing it up. The point is that the Constitution, I think Section 318, I don't know whether I mixed it up, maybe it's 308. I think it's 308.
It should be 308.
Yeah. States very clearly the people who are covered, the President, the Vice President, the Governor, the Deputy Governor, okay? Those are the people who are covered. It does not cover members of the National Assembly. Even with regard to those people recognized under the Constitution, they can even be investigated. And when they are out of office,
yes, investigation.
Yeah, and immunity has been a major debate. Members of the National Assembly are not entitled to immunity. But where the issue is the politics of it.
No, not even only the politics
timing
of it. You see, the critical question now is the conflict between that immunity clause and the freedom of refusal. Because the issue now is that the police has invited the Senate President as well as the Deputy Senate President for investigation. But they, for whatever reason, have refused to respond to police inquiry. That is the issue. And that is now, how do we now reconcile, the perceived, claim of saying, look, you cannot invite me. And the police is saying, no, rule of law, we can invite you. That is the issue. And that's the perspective from which I'm coming by raising it to say, look, the problem we have is that immunity clause. How do you interpret it? You have said that it doesn't cover the parliamentarians. But they believe that, look, in this particular case, I am a parliamentarian. You cannot invite me. That's why, for instance, look at it. The police IGP is saying, look, they have the right to investigate. Right of investigation. But now they have not submitted themselves, all right, for this purpose of investigation. And this is the issue.
Anyway, I don't want to hijack the conversation, but Teriba, maybe you will be able to deal with the politics of the matter, because what most Nigerians are concerned about is the politics of it, not even the legality.
Oh, well, I'm not going to dabble into political matters.
You're asking me to hijack the
we're talking here about law enforcement, and we're talking here about criminal allegations, which I do not think we should politicize. But the problem I have is with the law enforcement agencies. I get the impression they are making half-hearted claims. The first time there was an invitation, and that invitation was converted to a request for a written response. So exactly what's happening now, it's up to the law enforcement agencies to put more clarity on it. I doubt, I'm not sure how convinced they are about the links of the Senate President to the matter, because they've not shown any, they've shifted a few times, that I am not sure of the substance of it.
But what we're sure of is that the leadership of the National Assembly is protesting that because they have refused to be a rubber stamp assembly, that the executive arm of government has been witch-hunting them, blackmailing them, and harassing their leadership by bringing up all kinds of, allegations. That's one. What we are also sure of, because you say we are in doubt, is also that the National Assembly of Nigeria has been fighting back, and they have been saying that they are an independent arm of government and that they have a responsibility to perform their oversight role, and that on the basis of that, the executive, which they expect will not be led by a dictator or a tyrant, will not intimidate them, and that they will refuse to be intimidated. What we are also sure of is that the police, using executive powers, has been at loggerheads with the leadership, particularly of the Senate. Okay? And I'm not sure that there's any evidence anywhere where the Senate President says he does not want to subject himself to due process. Okay? These are the facts of the matter. So if you want to put a perfume on it on behalf of the executive, I don't think it will work. Prof.
Additionally, to lend credence to your submission, you see the police will first of all deny, only to come thereafter to say, okay, we will allow investigation into it. For instance, the blockade of the residence of Bukola Saraki, the argument was made that it was his security guards.
That they were not responsible.
That they were not responsible.
That it was the security operatives around him.
Immediately, because people were reacting, the next thing is to say, all right, we will empanel a committee, we will look at the matter. Why not look at the matter before coming out to say the people there were his? So you see, at the end of the day, the policemen are not helping matters at all.
Anyway, one thing is clear. Nobody is above the law in Nigeria, okay? But at the same time, in establishing the rule of law, no man should be victimized. The law should not be used as a weapon to intimidate people or to victimize people by people who believe that they are in a superior position of power. Whoever, commits a felony should, of course, be allowed to go through due process. But to use the law to intimidate people, to harass people, to frustrate the democratic process is not something that bodes well for Nigerian democracy. I think that's the point, and I'm sure both of you are agreed on that.
Yes, we are.
Nigeria and Nige Republic on Tuesday signed a memorandum of understanding on the construction of a $2 billion hydrocarbon pipeline and refinery in Nigeria to resolve the challenges posed by the continued importation of refined petroleum products into the country. President Muhammadu Buhari noted that the deal mutually benefits both nations. He said, and I quote, Nigeria sees this cooperation on crude oil export from the Republic of Niger and construction of refinery facilities in Katsina State as a win-win for both nations. The initiative will not only provide a reliable market for the stranded crude from the Niger Republic, but will also provide petroleum products for Nigeria as it aggressively pursues its aspiration on petroleum products self-sufficiency. Terrible, I come to you. You are the economist. Should Nigeria now be depending on Niger for petroleum products?
Well, it's not a matter of dependence.
Well, it looks like that.
Well, it's not dependence. Nigeria imports refined products.
Yeah, but if we have our refineries working and we had maintained our refineries, would we need to look to Niger?
In a northern state is going to help us reduce that import. We are going to be importing crude from Niger, which is close, to the north, by the way. So I do think that we should see this in positive light. The more diverse, our options, the better for our stability. Refinery anywhere in Nigeria, from crude from any source, whichever is closest, to the party in question. So we should commend that initiative, and we should encourage that state to go ahead, and partner with, because some of our
refined products, yesterday,
some of our refined products used to be smuggled to all the.
You are an economist. Yesterday, I was at a lecture organized by the National Association of Sea Dogs, and the key speaker was Austin Avuro, CEO of Seplat, which is an oil company, and he was arguing that the big problem we have in the oil sector is that we take oil as a source of revenue rather than as an enabler for development. Isn't this what is playing out in this transaction between Nigeria and Niger?
No.
And he says, look, if we see the oil and gas industry as an enabler rather than a rentier platform, rather than a rent collection platform, then Nigeria will be much better. And he cited the example of what has been done, for example, in Norway. Now, what we're doing, after listening to him, looks like precisely what he was criticizing.
No, it's the opposite of what he was criticizing.
Oh, really?
Because in this case, Nigeria is not exporting crude to Niger. Nigeria is importing crude from Niger. It's Niger that is going to get revenue from its crude. Nigeria is adding value, and that's for development.
In Katsina?
That's right, yes.
Why Katsina?
Because the Katsina state government
why Katsina?
It's not a Nigerian decision. It's a governor partnering with Niger. It's not Nigeria's president. That wasn't President Buhari's picture.
Where are the oil wells in Katsina?
So any state,
no, where are the oil wells in Katsina?
They are importing crude from Niger to refine in Katsina.
Okay, so what has happened to the oil wells in the Niger Delta?
We export those. We export those to other countries. So
no, the whole argument.
There's nothing wrong with
the whole argument of
I think
Austin Aburu's,
and every state,
the whole point of Austin Aburu's,
take steps in similar directions.
The whole point of Austin Aburu's argument yesterday,
yes,
and I mean, permit me bringing it up, is about the mismanagement of the oil and gas sector. And this initiative seems to be a poster case for the mismanagement.
It's a different initiative altogether.
Anyway, Prof, I'll take Prof.
Yeah, thank you. You see, I look at it differently. First of all, the deal is called MOU, Memorandum of Understanding. Yes. In other words, it is simply a memo on an unexplained understanding. The content of the understanding, nobody knows. MOU, by international definition, is inferior to convention, treaty, other agreement.
No, that's where it starts.
It's an intention. Yes, it starts.
That's where it starts, yes.
So it is an intention.
Yes. All right,
to do X, Y, Z. And the MOU is coming following the June 2018 MOU done with Morocco on gas pipeline. Now, when you look at it critically, why is it happening at this time? When you look at it polemologically, all right, to see this crisis in this period, why are we signing all these pipeline agreements? You have said that it's a deal between the governor,
the state.
The state, yes, the constitutive state of Nigeria.
Yeah, with Nigeria providing, with the federal government providing the guarantees.
Now,
so it's between Nigeria and...
The issue is that because it is Niger, we may not have many problems, difficult challenges, because Niger Republic is our friendliest neighbor. All right? We do not have any problem. Right from 1970 to date, they have a bilateral commission, all right, handling with all this. So whether it is state done or federally done, all right, it is always going to be done within the framework of that partnership agreement. Now, the issue here is that, one, we are building a new refinery.
At Sinan.
That's the location.
Yes.
But the existing refineries, they are not very functional. What is the proof that the new one you are going to do will be functional?
I think that's precisely the point. And we have to go on that note. We may return to this later because there doesn't seem to be an agreement on the reasonableness of this initiative. You've been watching This Day Live, this Sunday talk show here on Arise News. I'm Ruben Abati. For my entire team here in Lagos, it's bye for now. And thank you very much for watching.